Well, good morning. Well, tomorrow will be a sad day because I have to say goodbye to this wonderful piece of equipment. I purchased this about just over a year ago uh, for the sole purpose of rebuilding it. I just like doing that type of work, rebuilding things. I like understanding how things work and putting them back into working order. So when I got this saw, the top was off on it. There was corrosion on the top. Nothing was lubed. All the wheels were a bit stuck. They didn't have the right belts on the motor, and a few other little problems here and there. But everything was structurally intact and in good shape. And in the reality, when I looked at this saw, it didn't have that much use. This saw right here is basically they call it a horse and a half, but it's 10 amps in power. And here's the thing, this was designed, it basically was the same cabinet saw that if you got the 3 horse or you got the 1.5, it was exactly the same saw, but the difference was just that motor. But you can tell where the wear is on a saw by how many times you think the blade gets taken on and off on something like this. And so when I look at something like this, when I buy stuff like this, it's like these are some of the things I look at. I see how much wear has been on here, and you can usually tell how something has been taken on and off. Then you listen to the things like the bearings in there when it's actually running, and so on like that. And then obviously all the rest of the mechanicals on it. And there's a certain sound, certain vibrations, that kind of thing. But the beauty of something like this was probably bought by a homeowner, put in their garage or basement or workshop, and hardly ever used, just judging by the condition that it was in. So when I got it, I basically put it back together. I got this fence working here, and this is a Excalibur fence. And look at how well that moves. You just move it with your finger. Like, it was a little bit tricky to get it working, but at the end of the day, it is just absolutely flawless. And once the fence is set, okay, it doesn't deflect here or at the backside. And that's one of the biggest things you'll find on certainly all the T-square fences, because it's only pegged at the one end here. The other side will flex just slightly. On the cheaper ones, you'll see it more. On the higher end ones, a lot less. But anyways, after about a year of having this here, and I ran some pieces through this just to test it. So at 10 amps, they say it's a horse and a half. But if I put that up against what I know and what I see now, like on those hybrid saws, most of them are running 7.5, and they call it a horse and a half. I would contend that this is actually running more like a 2 horse, to be quite honest. At 10 amps, every other motor that I've seen typically is about a 2 horse. Because there's this saw right here. Okay, this one's going to be rebuilt in the next few weeks. But this is a 3 horse, and it's running at 12.4 amps. So there has to be some kind of discrepancy in the way that they figure that out. But performance-wise, I was resawing a solid 8-quarter red oak, 10-footers that were 5.5 inches high, and I really gave it the business to put it through here. And I finally got it to stall out on the thermal breaker, but I put it hard. But the lesson learned from this is this saw right here will do probably 99% of the work that you would ever throw at it. And the advantage is you can get these things cheaply. They are so simple to fix. And like taking this thing apart is just a piece of cake. I have a video if you ever want to take the top off to do the work. It's very simple to set these things back up. And but the thing is, this is a staple for a workshop, and this is a saw that will never let you down. So it's going to be a hard thing to see it go, but at the same time, I'll have made a little bit of money on this thing that I can put towards other things. And this is still part of my challenge to eventually get my shop the way I want it, with absolutely no money spent by buying and trading equipment.